Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair. On the show tonight is a lady with the voice of an angel, Anne Bridgeman. How we doing, Jodie? How we doing, Bridge?
Hello. All smiles here, all smiles after that weekend.
Oh, can I just say good evening to you two guys here in the panel. Massive good evening to the boys in the lobby. To all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. I'm still as high as a kite. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Jodie, just watch yourself. Fox is throwing all that money about. Make sure it falls in your purse.
I know, I was going to say, put it in my back pocket.
Aye. Oh, he's known for his generosity. Bridgeman, that's a different story.
You got nothing out of me.
How are you, Jodie? How are you?
Yeah, good. A few people were actually messaging because I hadn't been on in a while and I was a bit quiet on social media. So just to let everyone know, I am okay.
Alive and kicking.
I'm alive and kicking. I'm fine, and I'm back to chat the back legs off a donkey, off you all. And very, very happy with the weekend. And I'll tell you one thing: you might not have heard from me on social media and stuff, but probably my neighbours are sick of hearing me screaming after Sunday. I was having a great time.
What did they mean to you? Because we've not got a great record against them in the Cup in the early rounds, historically, away back when Bridgeman and Fox were boys, and that's a long time. But it's a great result for the fans, I think, yeah?
It's a brilliant result for the fans, and it's brilliant for the club to get more silverware involved for this season. So, what was it? Someone, one of my pals messaged me like, oh, well, they held on to it for 17 weeks or something. But it's a brilliant result. And as you said, we don't usually have results against them in the Cup. So just more bragging rights for the season. And I think it's just a testament to how brilliant this Rangers team are and the backroom staff and everyone that understands how important it is to keep going. And Gerrard said it when we were crowned champions. He went, the hard work doesn't stop here, and there's lots more football to be played, and you can see that they're sticking true to their words. So the feeling was amazing.
Yeah, it was a special day because it doesn't matter how many chances they have. The record books don't, Bridgeman, the record books don't tell you that, do they?
No, the record books don't really care. Only the pundits or the reporters or whomever. Fans are just want to talk about it. They'll mention all these things, but the truth of the matter is the record books tell you one thing, and that's what they see, and that's the truth of the matter. That's the way it is, And I think we did very well. I'm very happy with it, and I don't want to bore the pants off everybody, so I'm not going to say it again.
I don't know. Me and you do it every night, Bridge.
I know, and I will do it. Of course, I'll do it. Absolutely. Did you hear the latest rumour?
No, Bridge, have you got one?
No, there's going to be. Apparently, Celtic are going to have a testimonial for Peter Lawwell.
Put me down for 2 tickets, Bridge.
2 tickets, he'll go, huh? This is brilliant.
I'll sing for him.
What's that, Jodie?
I'll sing him a wee farewell.
Well, I bet you would.
He'd bring tears to him. He would cry, Hen. He would cry. Who cares? I'm laughing now, and you know what's going to happen. He's going to end up running some big part of UEFA or something like that, and he'll just try and screw us into the ground. I hope it doesn't happen, of course. I hope it doesn't happen.
Oh, don't worry about him, mate. Don't worry about him. The Rangers, can you see us now, mate? Our club changed, mate. There's different people involved, mate, and they don't like it. That's what happens with bullies, Bridge. That's what happens with bullies. The way that Fox bullies me on here, but you turn up to him once he backs off.
I think he'd easier hard time, to be honest. I really do. And there's other folks said that to me. That's a pity,
He does, mate, and sometimes I get quite upset about it, as you know. Right. Right, Jodie, we're going to hear from Gary Mack. We're going to start building up to tomorrow night's game, and then we'll open the phone lines. Is that all right with you, Jodie?
Yeah, perfect.
And then obviously we'll be talking about some of the financial things that happened to our club today. Mate, positive news, happy days. Let's hear from our assistant manager, Gary McAllister, no, I think he's an MBE. He might be an OBE, but he's got a medal for the Queen. Take it away, Fox.
Gary, one game at a time's worked really well for the team this season. Does that change when you've got a side twice
in 1 week?
Like
Yeah, I would suppose it's the same train of thought. After an Old Firm weekend and a big positive result, we bounce into this week, obviously off the back of a great result and a good performance, I felt as well. But again, when you look at the week, you think it's just another big week, and it's the way we like it. I think over the 2 games, we'll probably freshen up in the league game on Wednesday, but over the 2 games, we'll be strong because we want to continue our form in the league, and we want to progress in the cup. So we'll be strong over the 2 games. We know St Johnstone, they know us. We've played each other three times already. So the message from us is we'll be strong, and we want to continue our run.
Hi Gary, I hope you're well, bud.
Hi Ronnie.
Just in terms of the off-field matter this week, in terms of this European Super League, obviously your former club Liverpool were involved in it. Mm-hmm. Can I just get your initial thoughts on it, and what do you think this may lead to in terms of the wider football game, but also in respect to the Old Firm?
Well, the thing for me is, I would say instantly that I'm against it. My support would be with the 14 other clubs in the Premier League, and I would also go with UEFA's stance as well. But then putting my ex-player hat on, it is pretty amazing that players haven't been consulted. And I've seen this morning then that UEFA are sort of indicating that if these teams do break away, that the players from those clubs won't be allowed to play international football. And that's the big one for me. I think players are going to have a big say in this proposed move.
Hi Gary, can I just ask team news and also just following up from Ronnie on that? I mean, is there a danger here that likes of Rangers or Celtic are going to get sort of left behind if these proposals are allowed to go through, and that would obviously be a big worry for the supporters of both clubs?
Well, the thing is, trying to generate money is a big part of being in professional football. We're striving hard to get good, to do well in Europe. I think we've done that, and that has enhanced the coffers here. What I would say as well, during that period of some decent runs in Europe, our coefficients went up, and that has helped other teams in Scotland as well. So we're proud of being champions of Scotland, and we want to go in to do well in European competition, and that's what we've got to try and do that. And then in that, the fact is that we do help other teams in our league. So that's very much where we are at this moment on that.
Just team news as well, sorry, Gary.
But no, we're strong. We're obviously waiting to see what happens today with the statement on the suspensions of the boys. But everybody else is good. We've got a strong squad, and we will freshen up though, I'd imagine.
Alison Conway, please.
Gary, depending obviously what happens today as well, with having St Johnstone twice in quick succession, when you look at James and Nathan, is it a good chance to use them both?
Sorry?
Is it a good chance to use James and Nathan?
Well, obviously that'll be determined by the decision, but the facts are that we're going in against a team that's highly organised. They've had a wonderful season. They'll be full of confidence. So we're expecting a real tight game. But we will go there and look to attack and look to win the game. We've got to try and keep this run going.
Morning, Gary. Just going back to the Super League. I mean, you're a hero of Liverpool, and the fans are taking the banners off the Kop.
Yeah.
And this transcends football this year. Does it make you feel disappointed in your former club that they have signed up to this?
A little bit, yeah. What I would say is, when you look at the makeup of that football club, I'm very much a traditionalist when it comes to football. I like the history. I like the way teams have built. Shankly took it from the Anfield was a mess, and the way that club has grown. But for me, there should always be a connect from the top to the manager to the players, but most importantly to the fans. And at this moment in time, there's a barrier there, and there's a disconnect. So, being a traditionalist, but I do like change if it's progressive and it works. But this is just a move too far for me. I don't see football. It's an elite sport with elite people in it, but it's a game of the fans. It's the fans' game. And you look at the backlash today, there's no many supporters of it at all. And I understand that.
Obviously, the club will be competing in the Champions League playoff next season. Hopefully, you'll be looking to get into the group stage. What would be your thoughts on playing in a Champions League that possibly wouldn't have the Big 12 clubs that have gone to this breakaway league?
I would imagine that what I would say is, for sure, there'll still be some fantastic clubs in it. Just drifting away from that, as much as this has been touted around for a long, long time, I think if it did happen, I think the fact that these teams, these glamour ties that would happen too often, and I think that the pizzazz and the glamour would disappear quite quickly. I've just not been a fan of it. It's been touted for quite a few years now, but it's got to the most serious point ever. Me personally, I've never felt it would work. I think there'd be too many of these repeating these games would take away the whole prestige of the game.
Can I ask you just how James is getting on in his recovery ahead of this week, and then just looking to the next season, given how well Nathan's done since he came in? Have you already started thinking about how you manage to keep them all happy next year at the club?
Well, what a wonderful position for the manager and everybody here at the club, to have two outstanding players that play in the same position. Could that evolve, and could there be a little bit of change there? Time will tell, but the beauty is we've got an outstanding youngster, and we've got a player whose numbers probably are amongst the best in the world from that area of the pitch. So, as a club, we are uber delighted to have two outstanding players in that area of the pitch. There's different formations that you never know they might be able to get the two of them on the pitch at the same time.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, some breaking news. Obviously, before we come on air, Man City and Chelsea have been drawn for the Super League. Man United chairman has resigned, and so has the president of Juventus, Andre Agnelli. So that seems like a busted flush, that idea already. So, but good to hear for Gary Mack there, and very, very positive. Did it seem as if we'll get any more injuries, Jodie?
Can I ask you a question, Oxford? Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, I was on mute again. Yeah, I suppose that's the main thing to focus on.
Yep.
That's what we're looking for, not to get more injuries across the board. Hopefully the return of Tav soon. I
think you'll see Tav tomorrow night, Jodie. I think he'll be on the pitch at some point.
Yeah, because I know he was on the bench. But talking about the return of Tav, Gerrard's got a decision to make, doesn't he? Reece Patterson is flying. I really like what I see when he's on the pitch. He's really, really good. But yeah, that's obviously champions. We've obviously got St Johnstone tomorrow, and then we've got them on Sunday as well, I believe, is it?
Yes, 6:30.
Yeah, so want to make sure that we're getting in, doing the job, but also making sure that we're not risking any more players. Because we have noticed in some of the games that Gerrard kind of touched upon it in his presser as well, after the game on Sunday, that we have maybe, after we were crown champions, we did kind of drop it down a little. We weren't playing with the same intensity, but we're getting to see flashes of that in the fight again as Sunday, and I hope it just continues on, but not to the detriment of our players.
Yeah. Bridgman, you were coming in there, mate?
I was just going to ask you a question, see what you think. If Man City, Man United and Chelsea have now bombed out, the others will probably follow suit quite quickly.
No, it's no said Man United's bombed out. It looks that way.
No, it looks as if it's going to happen. My serious question is, why on earth did they sign up, take the contract up in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're chairman or a deputy executive chairman, something like that, him it was in charge of England rugby team. It was him. And
no, it's just the same name, mate. Woodward. It's just the same.
I thought it was the same guy. I do apologise. No. Forgive me. Accept my apology. So anyway, if that club has done that, went and signed that contract in any of these clubs and decided within 48 hours or so. They can't cope with the pressure. I think the FA should go and hammer them. Absolutely hammer them.
Juventus has resigned.
Pardon, Jodie?
The president of Juventus has just resigned.
Yeah, Agnelli. What's his name? Andre Agnelli.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it was done by just there was only a few people involved at clubs and they took this unilateral position, thinking they're more powerful than what they thought they were, and if it affected people's core business, they might have just backed off. Anyway, I'm sure it'll all come out in the wash. We don't care. We only care about the Rangers, Jodie.
We sure do.
So I'll be interested to see, Jodie, you're Stevie G.
Mm-hmm.
You're picking the team for tomorrow night. It's a league game. We've already won the league. You've got a cup game on Sunday. What's Jodie Pollock's team tomorrow night?
Oh no, people don't want to hear this. I get sloppy.
Yeah, they do. They do want to hear.
Tomorrow night. I would go with obviously McGregor in goals.
Right.
Barisic and Patterson. Hopefully Tav will get a game, but I don't want to give him the full 90 minutes. So I'd probably rather him a sub. So Barisic and Patterson. I would stick. Well, Balogun, he's still injured, isn't he?
Yeah, he's injured.
Yeah, so Helander and Goldson. Obviously Devo. I think I would go with Devo, Kamara. This is a hard one. Probably go with Devo, Kamara and Aribo in the midfield, and then I'd probably want to go. I'd maybe go all out. What's the league? But maybe give Hadji a game. People, I know you don't like Hadji, so you're probably going to hate me, but then I go with Hadji, Kent, Hadji, Kent, and then Morelos up front.
Okay, all right, interesting. Bridgeman, you had any thoughts? You've just put yourself on mute, Bridge. Come off of mute.
I hadn't actually given it a thought at all up until now, until you just mentioned that there.
See, I know you're new to this, but we're coming on a Rangers radio show.
Yeah, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about you. I was only thinking it would be the same. It would be the same team minus maybe put Wright in because I see he was on the
presser.
You call it presser today, so good chance that he'll be in.
He's banned, isn't he?
Sorry?
What's that, Jodie?
Patterson, he is banned, doesn't he? I think someone's just
No, yet. We don't know yet. We're watching that story closely.
Right.
We've got our news hounds there just waiting in case anything breaks.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be, they would give some of them who a real good battle at the weekend there and replace him with a couple of players. For instance, I'm thinking they might just give McLaughlin, give McGregor a rest and put McLaughlin in goal.
I can see that, Rich.
And Wright would definitely come in. So Kent took a couple of poundings. So a good chance he'll put Kent on the bench and let Wright take his part. So I don't really know what he's. Look, the manager. I've tried not to second guess the manager, and I've failed every time I tried to. Anyway, he's very, very good. He knows what he wants, and McAllister was non-committal on any players at all, even any hints on players, which actually that's what I like anyway. But I would take a guess it would be McLaughlin in goal, and if he's still available, Patterson would be right back. If not, I think they might even take a chance and start with Tav. Just my thoughts, And the defence would stay much the same. They might, in fact, let Borna get a rest as well and stick Bassey in. I don't know.
Well, we don't know if he's going to be banned. It depends.
Oh, he's one of the boys getting banned. Of course. Forgot about that. Opened my mouth too soon there, didn't I?
I'm on Patterson in the same boat, isn't he?
That's right there, pal. Yeah. So it could be that you're going to have. I would say Tav would go in. Start with. You might even mix it up and stick Arfield in there or something like that, but I think
he's not going
to. I don't think he's going to toy about too much. So I think he'll give Wright a start, and he could replace Kent or Aribo because they both had a tough game the weekend,
Fair comment, mate. I can see I can see, I'm in your camp with this one, Bridge. I think McLaughlin could start tomorrow night.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Keep McGregor free for the cup tie at the weekend, Jodie, you know. I can also, maybe, here's one for left field. I could see the boy Simpson starting tomorrow night. Halander a wee Brett. Swap him in.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
You know?
Yeah. Is Balogun still unfit, or is he
still injured? I don't know how much we're going to see of Balogun. And then if Patterson gets the okay, I think he'll play. Coulson just plays every week, doesn't he?
The man's a machine, isn't he? It really is. He's like a machine. In fact, Tab was like that, wasn't he? Virtually every week, hardly ever get injured. And you can see the same way. Coulson never gets injured by the sound of it. He's a big fella, you know, he can look after himself. But seriously, you know, he's been a rock for Rangers, and thankfully the manager signed him and likes him, and he's just been a starter every week, and I think it's marvellous. I think he plays very well for us. Vice captain, isn't he? Vice captain. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I can see that happening, but the midfields were problem, Jodie. Were a wee bit short of bodies, numbers. You know, ideally you would maybe say that it was again for Zunga, but we don't know if he's going to be able to play tomorrow night. And
I can think of them as well, wouldn't he?
He's in that boat as well, you know. So we could have maybe gave him a run out tomorrow night and took Davis and Arfield and maybe put the equation altogether, but I don't know if we can. So we're a wee bit short in the midfield. Up front, we've got Roof, we've got Itten, we've got Wright. You could end up with a completely different front three that started the game on Sunday. We've even got Defoe. I know he had some compassion stuff going on. I don't know if he'll be back about tomorrow. So we're all right up front. It's that midfield there that gives us problems,
Yeah.
You know, you think of the amount of work our midfield did at the weekend. And total star man, and Mr. Sir Stephen Davis and Kamara, and I think they were great, really fantastic. I really do. And Arfield, nobody let us down at all. One better than the other, if you follow me. And I don't know whether you can afford to change the midfield. That's being honest with you. I don't know if you can afford it.
And you come, Jodie. Yeah, the midfield. We've not got the bodies, have we?
We don't, and I feel like we have been. See, I've had this debate with people before, and I feel like sometimes you don't realise how much Ryan Jack can bring to the table. I know I'm a Ryan Jack fangirl. I think he's a brilliant player, but he controls the game. He's not like one that pure stands out and you're pure shouting for his name all the time, and that's a bit like how Davis plays. Like he'll do the job and then he does something pure wonderful and you're like, oh aye, but Davis always just puts in a consistent, solid performance, and I feel like we've been missing that. So I would say we're thin on the ground, but listen, with the defence we've got and up front, I definitely think we're going to get a good performance out and we're not that fussed obviously with the league tomorrow. I would like us to go on and continue the unbeaten in the domestic league, but again, all the focus will be piled onto Sunday. But I do have to agree. I think we're kind of thin on the ground. And looking at the midfield, I know obviously Davis went and done his overhead. He's fantastic overhead kick on at the weekend there. But you kind of look and you've not really got anyone that like screams out at you that could go out and put out like a pure like score a belter a goal or something, because I feel like a lot of our goals, I don't know if you would agree, but have to be like inside the box or from like a cross. We've not really got anyone that's taking the chances outside the box, so again there's maybe a bit of lack of inspiration in the midfield we've got just now, but nothing wrong with the players we have, but it's just a bit thin on the ground.
Aye, we've not got the numbers to play the rotation game, and obviously you're trying to pick guys for big games coming up, and obviously we'll get 3 games left in the cup, and after tomorrow night we'll have 3 games left in the league, and we're greedy, Bridge. We want to go undefeated. That's
what it is. It's a hard thing, because it's like we're being greedy and we're saying, oh, we want this, we want that, and we're maybe saying, oh, we've not got this, we've not got that, but we're champions. And if you look at it in hindsight, yeah, we might be thin on the ground, but we're thin on the ground being the league winners. So, do you know what I mean?
We've got a fabulous, a fabulous chance here, to do something that we haven't done for such a long time, and that's to get a League and Cup double. And I think most of the sport would love that to happen. But also, on the other hand, we've got a great chance of going another 4 games undefeated, which would do us fine, and that would get us a season undefeated. And the more the merrier. Win all the games would be absolutely fantastic. But there's a wonderful chance for Rangers to do well on both sides. So the undefeated tag and get through to the Scottish Cup final and win it. And that'd be just wonderful. Seriously, I don't know. I won't say too much about seasons that have gone before, but this would be an almighty season if we got through to the cup final and won it. It really would. Yes, indeed. Right.
It's just unbelievable. It's a Carlsberg season, Joe Dare.
Totally. I feel like you always have the saying, Carlsberg did Sundays, Mondays, whatever day, but this whole season, by the way, like, you couldn't have asked for a better season. And I think we all know as Rangers fans what we've had to go through. It was probably getting to a point like before Gerrard, and even maybe when Gerrard was here for his first season and stuff, that you weren't seeing the end goal in sight. It was getting a bit more, could we do it, what's happening? But see the players have just clubbed together, and as you said, if Carlsberg could do leagues, then what a season it's been.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. So it'll be interesting to see what the team is tomorrow night. So if people want to join us, give us their thoughts on the team. Bridgeman, what's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972. Come and join us.
2 questions. What your team would be, and what do you think the Gaffer's team would be? Because that's 2 different questions, Bridge, isn't it?
It is indeed, pal. It is indeed. Wow. Just
picking the team's no easy, Jodie, is it?
I know. It's definitely no. I've faced the backlash. I know. I've got the bruises and everything to show for it. No, kidding on. I wish I could be in the mind of Steven Gerrard. I'd just love to know what goes on in that beautiful heat. But yeah, if people want to phone up and give me their teams and give me the opportunity to slag for a change, please be my guest.
You took a bit of flack. Did you get much on social media?
Aye, why did you think I took a social media break? No, I'm kidding on. Wasn't because of that, but my social hiatus.
Oh, well, you learned a valuable lesson, didn't you? Yeah.
Aye.
And you done it with grace and style.
Grace and style being for me, telling people what I want to say, and that's it. But at least I won the music quiz.
You did by a distance. Yeah, you've done really well, you and Gaz, didn't you? And the
I think there's a bit of cheating going on there, to be honest.
How? What? Because I sing?
Oh, I think there was a bit of cheating. That's just my opinion, Don't want to say too much about it.
You get 10 new songs for me tonight. Don't need any prep for it, and I'll still win.
I wouldn't doubt it, because you've got people, contacts, and you're very friendly with Oxtail. Say no more. Say no more.
Oh dear. Right, we must move on to the great news that broke for the club, Bridgeman. Another billionaire. Was it somebody you know well?
Somebody I know well. No, it's not somebody I know well. No, it's not somebody I know well. That's for sure. I was. You're making me laugh. Stop it. I had it there just a wee minute and I was reading it. Oh, what have I done with it? You fool. Oh, for
John
God's sake. John Halston. It's his company. I can't remember the name of his company now. You know that? I'm going to just walk in and find that.
Perron. Let me get it up for you. I had it up. I thought you had it, mate.
I had it. I've got it up and I can't see the bloody thing now. What a fool I am. There it is. John Halstead.
Yep. And his company's Perron, isn't it? Is it Perron?
Yep.
Are you there?
It's Perron Investments LLC.
Mm-hmm.
The owner is called John Halstead. So well done, and 4.16% of the shareholding. And that's tremendous. That's tremendous.
Yeah. Perron. Do you think there's a musical in that story?
Perron, aye. It's called Eva.
Yeah? So did you think there's a musical in there?
It's called Eva.
I've got so many song opportunities already.
Go and
What's that?
give us a song to that one then. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
I know.
Brilliant.
That's what I could sing for Peter Lawwell.
That's not a bad shout, by the way. That's not a bad shout, truth be told. Peter Lawwell. you could do that. He's every testimonial.
Greg Kamara one, Jody.
I'll tell you what, my heart went out to Kamara at the weekend. I thought he played a really good game. It wasn't the greatest player on the pitch. That went to Mr. McGregor and Mr. Kent for me, closely followed by Stephen Davis. But seriously, my heart went out to him. He's been through hell, that boy, for the last couple of weeks there. Hopefully, this is a good thing to take away the hurt and go and celebrate and enjoy it.
Jody, obviously, me and you are a lot younger than Bridge and that. You know, so that's terrible, isn't it?
What a shocker, you!
Right. But you're big in social media, and the power of that is it's sore for some people if it goes wrong for you.
Oh, it is. By the way, it totally is. And see, sometimes that's what I'm saying. I took a break out. And I had so many people messaging, and I took a break out, and I wasn't even getting messages directed at me that made me want to do it. It's just such a toll on you sometimes reading some things, and I need to be honest. I get a lot of support, and I'm very lucky. When I put songs out there, that the feedback is majority good compared to negative compared to some other singers that I know and stuff. But sometimes it takes a proper toll on you, and I had so much going on in my own personal life and with family, and then with work and with my actual job and stuff, and I just had to take a back seat. So I can't imagine having to face all of that on the pitch, having to go through that. Your emotions are heightened. It's been such a, everything you've had to go to then go home to wind down and then see comments on your Instagram, on your Twitter. It's absolutely vile, and it's just keyboard gangsters hiding behind. You can guarantee if they couldn't say it to somebody's face. And it's absolutely disgusting. I think people forget that people in the public eye, and footballers, celebrities, etc., all of them, they are human beings at the end of the day, and they've got feelings. Yeah, they might be held to a different regard and set examples, and they're not going to maybe actually converse with you because it's not as if you'd walk up to somebody in the street and just speak to them. Do you know what I mean? But they can still see your messages, and they still hurt. I know we're talking about Kamara, but see some of the stuff that was getting said to Ruth as well, and then fans with posters and stuff saying some of the words. It was absolutely vile, and you can understand why some football players, for example, have their own private Instagrams or private Twitters, and they don't allow fans in because they've got a life at the end of the day, and they don't need that. So yeah, social media can be a really dark, disgusting place at times. I know obviously there's good sides to it as well, but yeah, sometimes it can be very, very nasty.
Yeah. And listen, I agree with Bridge. I thought Kamara was steady without being outstanding. One mistake in the game for me, but he done a lot of good things, and hopefully he can get back on form, which helps his private life if he's playing well, because nobody needs to tell you if you've had a good game, a steady game, and a bad game on the football pitch, Jodie.
Exactly. It's his job at the end of the day, and our opinions don't matter. It's obviously, to an extent, fans like to voice their opinions. I scream and shout at the telly. Everyone knows that. When I'm at games, I can't even share videos that I take at games or anything because I'm an absolute disgrace, the amount I shout sometimes. But he's getting all his support and all his feedback and everything from Gerrard and McAllister and Beale and all that. He doesn't need people coming in and putting their 2 pence worth. He pure doesn't need it. And I sometimes read through the comments and I'm just thinking, what actually possesses people to think that's okay to do? So yeah, he doesn't need it, and he's a young boy doing his job at the end of the day. He doesn't need to
I think we forget because they're idols. Because they are idols. We forget they're only young men, Bridger.
Oh, indeed.
I look up and I'll be like, oh, I love Morelos and stuff. He's the same age as me. But do you know what I mean? It's wild. It's mental.
I think he was a year below me, Morelos, at school.
But Yeah. You look at these players and you don't realise the age of some of them, and a lot of them are away from their families and home from their own support system, and they've not got, like, when I took that wee break and I was having a wee issue, a wee blip with my own mental health, things were getting to me. I've got my mum, my dad, my boyfriend. I've got everyone surrounding me that I need. I've got my family and I've got people to talk to out with social media. A lot of these players, for example, don't have that. They've moved away to play for Rangers and to be part of, like, to play for this, like, magnificent club and want to be embraced by the fans. It's absolutely disgusting. I know I'm on a rant here, but yeah, I just can't.
Yeah. Good point, well made. Yeah. We forget Bridgman sometimes how young they are with their performances on the park, for what, particularly Hadji. I mean, it would be fair to say that I think I've been very honest in my assertions of Hadji. I think he's done some great things. He's learning the game. He's only a 21-year-old lad, 22, whatever he is. Yeah. You know, he's got a lot of learning to do.
I agree with you 100%. And it's and I know you say sometimes don't think about it. You actually don't until somebody mentions, like, it was only a young lad, and you think, that's what it is, you know. And if you look at the problems, for instance, you mentioned Morelos. You look at the horror problems that Morelos went through playing football up here. He's been attacked by the clubs, the players, the officials, and the officialdom itself. They absolutely hated the boy. They probably still do. And I think
please hold.
Carry on, Brad.
I was going to say that there's rumours starting to abound at the moment, apparently, that the Glazers are trying to sell Man United, and the people that are running Liverpool, I can't remember what their name is, some group, apparently they want to sell Liverpool. So it's all blowing up now.
It wouldn't surprise me. We've been joined by Shuggy. How are we doing, Shuggy?
No bad, mate. How are yourself?
Hi, Shuggy.
I'm soon, mate. How are you?
Good.
What's on your mind?
Hi.
Jody.
I can't think of you. Jody, that's it. Aye, that's it. What's on my mind? Well, I just think, I know we want to win tomorrow, but I don't think it really matters what team we put out. Our team should be too strong for them anyway, wherever they put it.
Funny enough, Shuggy, good point you make there, but they're in the same boat as us, aren't they? Because obviously, I mean, this is the biggest game of the season. It's the teams who are the silverware, you know what I mean? But they've got the cup tie-in and Sunday the same as us. Do they twist their stick tomorrow night, Shuggy?
No, I'd like to say I think we could probably play a couple of his French players, play McLaughlin, give McGregor a rest.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't think Patterson will play. I think he'll rest Barisic. I think he'll play the other boy that usually plays there, the coloured lad. I think the defence will be probably changed. You know what I mean? I think he'll have a reasonable strong midfield, and I mean up front. I think he's got to definitely play right as one of his players up front. Give Kent a rest. I'd possibly make 4 or 5 changes, to be quite honest with you.
See if I'm going to bring Bob here in a couple of seconds. See if Patterson's allowed to play tomorrow. Do you think there's any chance we could maybe see Tav in a different position, Chuggy, just to give him some game time?
Yes, possibly so. I would actually. you might not agree with this, but I would actually play him in the midfield or just more or less on the wing there. You know, sort of like not actually in the midfield, but out sort of wideish on the wing there. You know.
All right. Okay. All right, mate. We've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Evening, folks. How are we all doing? All right.
Hi, Bob J.
By the way, Jody, well said. Well done. There's a world of difference if me and you getting a nutter in front of you in a pub and what they guys have got to put out with you.
Exactly.
But anyway.
It's just mental.
You're doing well, Bob Jet. Are you doing well, Bob Jet?
I'm doing all right, Bridge. Yourself?
Excellent, pal. Excellent, buddy. Thank you.
Anyway, on we go to tomorrow night, and I would give some of the Fringe guys some minutes, as they say. I'd give Etten a game, I'd give Zungu a game, and I'd give Bassi a game. What happened with young Patterson with the suspension? Is there no word on that yet?
We don't know yet. We've not heard.
Yeah, don't know yet. Well, I would think after his performance on Sunday, he'd be a stick on to play. And good idea, Hawks. You could shove Tav forward into the midfield. Maybe give Hadji a start. Yep, give some of the Finns boys a start and then see how we go. Then put the full team out on Sunday and try and get through the cup tie. I think that's the genial outlook on it all.
I can understand the logic of that, Bridgman.
Well, we were just saying that there a wee while ago. I don't know what the manager's going to do, and as I say, I'm fed up trying to second guess him. But you can make some sensible decisions. And the first one I said, well, unless other than Patterson, I was thinking, you'll play Bassey. And Oxley says, no, he'll not be playing either. You're like, God, no, he will. We're stuck for bodies now, to all intents and purposes. But no, I do think he'll play right. I do think he'll play right from the start. Right. And that'll probably in place of Kent. That's what I think. Yeah, I don't know if he'll play Itten. I don't know. But it's a good chance. Good chance for him to do so. He's not going to play Zunga because he's in the same boat, isn't he? He can't play him, you know. So who else did you say, Bob?
Aye. I forgot about that. He's in the same position. I don't know what's happening.
You can actually see Roof starting tomorrow night as well.
That's a good shout. Itten and Roof, good shout.
I can see because he needs minutes. Because obviously he's been coming back for an injury. Shuggy?
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, I mean, thinking about it, like I say, I think his old squad's too strong for him anyway. So I think, you know, it's just how many minutes Gerrard wants to give to as many players as possible. I would think, you know, he could say, well, look, 3 of them possibly give him half an hour each. You know what I mean? The 3 that, you know, didn't play last week, but I would definitely give Wright a full start if that was me, like, you know, personally myself.
Jodie?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of not sticking with what I think the only thing I would change is I would probably agree that would rest McGregor, get McLaughlin in, but I can see the boys being banned for this game personally. So if Patterson's not available, I think it'll be Tav, Connor. I get your comments about Simpson, but I still think it'll be Helander. It's a tricky one, right? Because obviously all the focus is on the cup on the Sunday, but I feel like this game could potentially be mind games being so close together. Does that make sense? Am I making sense with that? Like, if we take the foot off the gas and give them any attacking element where they can think they've got one up on us, it could be a wee bit of mind games going into a game so close, coming off the back of maybe hopefully not a defeat, but even if it's a draw, I feel like we need to go out. And I know what everyone's saying, our team compared to their team, we should easily do it, but I don't think we should give any disrespect. They are a team that's got silverware. They are there. Then we've seen it before happen with smaller teams come in. I know that obviously we're different gravy this season, but I do feel like it's not just going to be a run in the mill, nice and easy game. I feel like I feel personally they'll put a lot into it, and they will want to put their mark in the game to be what they're looking to bring on the Sunday. But that's my own opinion. And we know how people feel about my opinion sometimes.
No, entitled to that. Don't let anybody ever tell you differently. Might not be right, but you're still entitled to it.
See, I'm never right, but for me to say that I'm always right, does that make sense?
Southside's been on here since August trying to predict the team. He's got it right twice. You know what I mean? Twice he's got it right. You know what I mean? So
the more I'm here, I do definitely think that McGregor deserves a rest. So yeah, it would be good to get McLaughlin some game time as well, because we've not relied on him for God knows how long.
No, he's never let us down, Bob Ger, has he?
No, he's never let us down. He's always been very, very steady any time he's played. Very capable goalkeeper. Then the Scotland squad, the boy. So He's a really good backup to McGregor, so that I've not got a problem with him. I haven't got a problem with anybody playing. We've got a strong squad, and we should be able to keep people at rest after the pressure and all firm game on Sunday, and be able to go up and more than match it with St Johnstone. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just talking about the quality player we've got, the quality of player there. Like Jody says, it'll not be easy. But at the end of the day, we've still got an invincible title for to try and attain. So let's not take it too lightly. Let's just go in here, do the business, get back down the road and do the business again on Sunday. That's all we're asking, Rangers. All we're asking.
Yeah. We're greedy, Shuggy. We're looking for what we're looking for. We got 4 games in the league, 3 in the cup. We're looking for 7 victories. We're greedy. But let's take it, Shuggy. Yeah?
Oh, why not?
Okay, well, I will definitely take it. That's no bother. Like 7 wins and then just just go on his holidays after that, and then come back and then say, right, who's your new manager now? Well, the new manager, you're going to get the same as the last one. There you go, down the road. See you later.
If we win the next 7 games, guys, I know it's going to be heaven. But they've got to shut the Erskine Bridge. They've got to shut it. They really do have to shut it completely. Nobody allowed anywhere near it, because they will do it. It's just unbelievable. They're dying. They are dying inside, and I love it.
Oh dear. Have they opened that up since March the 7th?
I was over it the other week there looking for them. Looking to see if there was any stragglers.
Can you see us now? Can you see us now?
Yeah. Why, some of them need to hold their head in shame. So they do. The things they said. Oh my God. We're still the best team in the country. How did that one go? Right, okay.
I absolutely loved Borna's interview when they asked him his thoughts on that, and he said, I think it's the biggest joke of the season and it's disrespectful. And then Rangers doing what Rangers doing, go out and show it on the park rather than going into pressers and talking absolute nonsense.
It's all we're doing, Jody, is we're asking them to do the team talk for us. We don't need Stevie Gerrard to do it anymore.
Big Bonner's got a career when he finished football as a villain in Bond movies, isn't he?
I love him.
By the way, you've never heard me slagging off Kennedy's nose, because I can't. Because I've got you about the same size. Because when I stuck my tea in the water at the bath, I says it's cold. I stuck my nose in and says it's deep and all.
But there's a difference, Bob Gia.
Well, there's a difference.
Behind each your ears, and you've got a bit between your ears, you know what I mean?
Well, I had in the backstroke in the bath, and the bairns all jumped out. I thought it was a shark. No. Yeah. I wish it would go along with some other part of my anatomy.
Stop it, you! Stop it!
Yeah, stand up.
It's a family show.
Family show.
What a shocker, yeah.
Family show. Can't carry on like that. True though.
Oh dear.
That's how I never say nothing about Kennedy's nose.
Just remember, tomorrow night it's a 7 p.m. kickoff. You all aware of that?
Aye, yep.
Aye.
£17.50.
Yeah. £17.50, yeah. The market in the Scottish football, Bridgman. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Unbelievable. You better believe it. You've got to believe it, haven't you? You sit and gaze around, and I just want my team to do well. That's the only thing I want, is my team to do well. And I'm quite sure that all of you feel the same way. Some guys have got an interest, a heavy interest, I would imagine, in what's going on round about us and the other clubs. There's only one club that I've got any interest at all, and I just want them to go down. Well, tell a lie, they're wee brothers, Hibs. I want them to go down as well. Every time, as much as possible. I don't want them to win, and I don't want anybody over at Parkhead to win. And that's all I feel about it. I want my own team to win. That's what I want. I want them to do well and make sure everything's okay for everybody else in the club. Get the club on its feet, keep it on its feet, and keep it going. And that shareholder has bought some shares in Rangers. That is fantastic. That's fantastic, and that's going to keep us going for a wee while.
Here, and I see that Club 1872 purchased about, I think it was 450,000.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
All right.
I don't know whether they bought that for a club or what do you call him? Dave King?
No, these were fresh shares, mate.
Right, cool. Brilliant.
Fresh shares. But I'd say, once again, to Club 1872, please, there's a platform here. You come and speak to us. You can say what you've got to say, and if it's positive for the Rangers, we'll listen and we'll present it. Bob Gia.
Absolutely. Like I keep saying to you, Paul Ox, I'm no one for finances, but I'm aware of what the club needs to have to exist, and if people are investing money into the club, great, brilliant. Because I wasn't so long ago, people were hoovering money out of the club, and look where it landed. We can't all that, but it's different days now, and if people want to come and invest in a great club, the future's bright. The future's Rangers. Am I right, Bridge?
Oh, I believe you're right, pal. Don't you worry about that. That's me. That's me all the way, pal.
I believe the reason we never get invited to that Super League is we're too good.
Too good. Too good. Love it.
It's falling apart, by the way. I don't know if you've heard.
Brilliant.
Tell us about it. Keep going.
I think Chelsea and Manchester City have said they didn't want to participate.
Oh, come on, Bob, Jared, keep up. We announced that at 8:10.
Well, I was here at 8:10. It was along in the show.
Juventus are denying that their president's even resigned. Agnelli or whatever he's called. They're now saying that he's not resigned.
No, but he's away swimming. He's away swimming with the fishies.
Honestly, something's just came in. When UEFA announced the new UCL format, it said potential adjustments to the format approved could still be made if necessary. Remove the +2 places for clubs with the highest coefficient not to qualify immediately. Give it to actual champions. Don't know. There's a lot going on. I've got the live updates on, so I can keep us in the loop. But it just seems as if they say one thing and then something else comes up. It's a lot of contradictory nonsense. Just so. Anyway, focus on Rangers.
Absolutely.
If these people don't hurry up and give us the result of this hearing, then we should be well within our rights to play Patterson tomorrow night. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Arsenal have now sacked Stan Kroenke's sports company. Yeah.
Have they?
Wow.
Oh, listen, we need to pull out of that friendly with them. They're one of the big bad clubs.
Right, Jody, here's a musical question. What did you think of the new version of Every Saturday We Follow, the club?
Oh, I love it. I know Crawford, the guy singing, I know him. Yeah, I liked it. So it's a good song. But it's probably better than my wee acoustic version of it. So
don't put yourself down. That's my job.
Every Saturday we follow.
Well, I'm better than that version. But yeah, no, I really liked it, and I think it'll be a good one for when we're all back at the stadium. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Do you know when Bridgeman used to sing, people used to throw money at him, Jodie?
What, to ask him to stop?
I'll let Bridgeman comment on that.
Oh, to get me to stop, wasn't it? Yeah, of course.
We're surrounded with the old entertainment industry tonight, Shuggy.
Aye, well, I'll tell you what, I wish somebody would throw some money at me, because I've got none left now.
Did you hear what happened to me, Jodie?
What?
Right? No, I went to the doctor, and she's Robert. I says, I'm afraid you're never going to sing again. I says, in my throat. She's, no, I heard you, you're murder. Oh, there you go.
I've heard you, Bob Jerry. You're not bad.
I know. After 52 years, we should be.
A lot of practice, Sarah. A lot of practice. I bet you when you get your chapter in the Rangers radio book, it'll be an interesting one.
It will be, aye. It definitely will. I could tell you a lot of stories about that.
Mine's was only 2 pages, mate. 2 pages.
Right.
Listen to that. 2 pages. Scandals will be written about you, boy. Scandals.
By the way, that was a brilliant song at the end last night. It was good. Really enjoyed it.
What, you mean the Queen?
No. Well, I enjoy that as well. Aye.
Bob Jerry walked into that.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I've walked into a lot of things called marriage. Right.
What was the song we played at the end? I might have been away for the toilet.
It was the old New Seekers, Slaffy, but it was What Have We Done to the Tims?
What have we done to your 10?
That was brilliant, wasn't it? What?
To your 10.
Really, wasn't it?
To the Tims. What have we done to your 10? Love it. Brilliant. Just brilliant.
Everybody's in a good mood, Jodie. Do you feel the vibe?
We're all buzzing. No wonder. What have we got to be sad about?
Here.
That's why we sing "Hey There You" with a sad face, because we're having a great time.
We've got one for the Leonard, Gerald Sleepy. That's what they call him.
Oh, Shuggy boy. Oh dear. I wonder what tune we're going to get in. Any idea, Bridge?
I hope it's one of Jodie's, hopefully.
They are. I know Shuggy's brother likes that Ryan Jack one, but I must admit, my own favourite, the lyrics, Kamara one still does.
Fires the ball like an arrow.
Kamara's brilliant. Kamara's song's brilliant.
It's a brilliant.
It's brilliant.
That's brilliant. Just brilliant.
We
got that song.
Right,
we got that song. Or Gary sing it.
I'll tell you what, we'll find out what tune we're getting now. Get yourself a mute. We're going to have a tune.
From Argyle, so young, to Glasgow City, they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. To start a football team, they had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags. Sing with your heart and voice. Celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. For that's our dream, to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, but still going strong. 54 titles, we're still going strong.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
So does anybody think there's a chance that our right side tomorrow, if things go well in this appeal, whatever, could be Nathan Patterson, James Tavernier, and then Scott Wright in front of him? Does anybody think that's a possibility?
Absolutely, Ox.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That sounds like quite a strong right side as well. A lot of pace there. And that, the young Tav, and then Scott Wright. There's a hell of a lot of pace on that right-hand side. Yeah, I didn't
Have
see
you
why
heard
not.
some news or something, Ox, there? Have you heard news or something?
Maybe.
Right, okay.
Maybe his eyes.
Maybe his eyes and maybe his nose.
Shuggy. Oh, we've lost Shuggy. Rich, any thoughts? Then Jody.
Well, I had said a wee bit earlier, if we've not got Patterson, then we're going to do something else. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Tavernier doing a wee shift in front of young Patterson. That'd be really good if he's available. And Wright, it doesn't matter where Wright plays, he's going to be all over the park before you know it. And he needs to get stuck in.
The pace on Wright is phenomenal. Like, love to see more of him in a game. So it is a good possibility, and I think a lot of fans have said for a long time it would, with work rate and attacking effort that Tav puts in, it would be good to see him in a higher up position. So there is every possibility. But if it doesn't go our way and we're still in the hearing isn't, you will probably find Tav in his normal position. But yeah, I think it'd be good to see, and I agree. Wright is what a player he is. I feel like he's a brilliant addition to our squad. So yeah.
So far, all right. Get yourselves on mute because we're going to hear from Scott Wright.
The manager spoke last week about the team needing a big game to give them that edge back after a bit of a lull for a few weeks. Obviously after the result of the weekend there, do you feel that you've got that edge back ahead of a couple of big games this week?
Yeah, as you say, there's probably no bigger game than the one last weekend just past there. I think the boys were fantastic in the game, and obviously the most important thing was the result, and we managed to get that.
Scott, when you look at this week, the same opposition in two consecutive games, and they are obviously on a good streak. Is this actually quite a dangerous week for Rangers, given the unbeaten run and what you're hoping in the Scottish Cup?
Every game is obviously massive at a club like this, so we'll go into the game with the same mindset for everyone. We want to win every game, obviously. And as you say, St Johnstone are on a good run at the minute, and obviously they've had the cup success earlier in the season, so no, I'm sure it'll be a good game.
Scott, obviously since you've come into the team, you've had a few appearances off the bench and a few starts as well. Is this the kind of game that you can really excel in, put a mark down, and then perhaps start in the bigger games in the Scottish Cup going forwards?
Yeah, I've said before that obviously I want to try and make an impact on the team, whether that's coming on from the bench or whether it's starting. And obviously all I can try and do is give the manager something to think about, whether that's from the start or whether that's making an impact from the bench.
Just picking up from that, does it give you guys a lot of confidence that you are going to get that chance? Because the manager's constantly saying about how it's a squad game and he wants to give you all a chance.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a good squad, and obviously at a club like this, there's so many games, whether that's through Europa League or obviously now the Scottish Cup as well. There's going to be so many games, so you're going to need to obviously utilise the squad, and I think whoever's came in has done a good job, and I think it's obviously on the players to make sure that they give the manager something to think about to be put in, and then once you're put in, it's the sake of trying to grab your chance.
Scott, I mean, obviously that's the team through the quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup now. I mean, you've potentially got a big day at Hampden next month to look forward to if you can sort of keep on going through the competition. Is that something that's really driving competition for places? You have to want a cup final slot if you can get there.
Yeah, it's always important to keep pushing ourselves. The mantra here is not to stand still. It's always to keep moving. And as I say, with such a big squad, there's always competition for places. So if you kind of come off it a wee bit, there's going to be somebody waiting to try and take your spot. So if you get that shirt, it's a sake of trying to keep it and make it your own.
Just on that, Scott, I mean, obviously it's coming towards the end of your season here and when you join. How have you found your impact at Rangers? Are you happy with where you are now at the club moving forward on to the next season? And how much do you think you've grown at the time you've joined Rangers?
Yeah, I think I've probably played a little bit more than I was expecting to. I thought I was kind of come in and get my face in the door and kind of get used to the tactics and the boys and the management. Obviously, it's such a big change, but I'm probably personally delighted with how far it's gone so quick. And as I say, it's a sake of keep moving forward, not standing still, and going to chase down the next target.
Scott, we're hearing a lot about this European Super League that's dominating the conversation. Obviously, when you signed for Rangers, one of your ambitions would have been to play in the Champions League. How, as a footballer, do you feel about this when you see these plans being drawn up?
It's obviously all quite up in the air, and you only hear bits and pieces through the news and on TV. So I'm still obviously trying to take it in and kind of get some of the facts, and I've obviously got friends messaging me about it as well. So it's certainly an interesting one to see, and I'm not sure obviously how good for football it will be or how bad for football it will be, but it's certainly an interesting one. So I'm interested to see kind of what else is going to come out about it and have a look into it there.
All right, Scott. Right, another one of these articulate young men. It's with their club.
Speaks very well, doesn't he?
And you come, Jodie?
Yeah, he speaks well, and to be honest, I think he realises how big. Obviously, he knows, but how big a club it is, and the privilege to be involved. The way he was speaking about saying he didn't expect to come in and get as much game time, so he's not one of those boys that's came in and is demanding and expecting to be like a star player. He knows his role, and I feel as the years go on, he'll just go from strength to strength, and he's got so much. Even when he comes on, he does actually make an impact, and he is the legs that we need in the final third of games, and he comes on and he is like a breath of fresh air. So and just to reiterate what everyone else was saying, he speaks very, very well. So, I think he's got a good career ahead of himself with ourselves at Rangers.
Okay, we've been joined by Jamie. Evening, Jamie.
Hi, evening, Ox.
How you doing, mate?
Aye, good. Cheers. How's everybody doing the panel?
Aye, good.
Hi, Jamie. How good here?
Oh, yeah. I'm phoning up for 2 points, really. I want to give my team for the morrow.
All right, okay. I'll be interested on that. Jamie, right?
Right, my team, not Gerard's team, because we can't guess that, right? But the way I would go McLaughlin in goal. I'm assuming that the COVID guys are all banned, so I'm going to have Goldson, Helander and Barisic. I'm then going to midfield 3 of Davis, Kamara and Hadji. Got Marfield, although he played really well against Celtic. That was his first good game, I think, in a while. I'm dropping him because I think Tav might only get 60 minutes, and I think Arfield would probably be the only one to go into right back. So that's the reason he's not starting, although he did play well against Celtic. And then I'm going a front 3 of Wright, Roof in the middle, and Itten on the right. And I want to ask the panel, if we've seen enough of Cedric Itten, because out of the new signings that Rangers have had this year, we've not really seen. Itten's been the one I think that I'm still undecided on. Like, I don't know if he's a good player or he's going to be a Rangers player or no. Him and Zungu are the only two I think that have not really had a run of games. I know Zungu's only on loan, but Itten's our player. We paid over $2 million for him. Roof's been given plenty of chances and a run of games, but Itten's not really had that luxury. So, although I want to ask, what do you think of my team, and should Itten be given a run towards the end of this season as well?
Oh. Okay, your team possibility, mate. I can see where you're coming from with all the logic behind the Tavernier and changing Tavernier and keeping Scotty Arfield to cover, because we've not got that much cover. The front three, yeah, possibilities. And on Itten, yeah, you're right, mate. We haven't seen enough of him to judge, mate. Simple as that. But is the manager doing the judging on the training field as well? Jody P.
Yeah, again, it's a hard one. I feel like I kind of agree with you though that Itten. There's been games like, obviously we know he loves a wee performance against Motherwell, but there has been times where he's came on and he's maybe been a bit. He just flies under the radar, and there's not been any. I don't know, not any like wow factor when he's on compared to what we've seen with the likes of Ruth. But then again, as you said, is that down to time? Is that down to game? Remember when Borna gave him the penalty? He said he's down on confidence, and that's why he wanted to give him to get him another wee goal and a goal for him. So you never know what's going on in the training ground. Is he not performing? Is he putting his all in training? Is he down in confidence? Is he just simply being outshined because of the amount of talent we have as a team? It's a hard one. I would actually like to see him get some game time tomorrow, see if he can maybe add another goal to the score sheet for himself, put his name into the team a bit more, and get that confidence back and build on it. We've saw it before. We've saw when other players are down in confidence, sometimes all they need is that wee game-changing moment. But I can also see where you're coming from with the Arfield point as well. And the more it's going on, I have a feeling that they're not going to announce the outcome of this hearing or meeting until tomorrow. And I agree. I'm predicting that the boys will be out. So good to see that if Arfield's not started, then we've got a bit of cover, because usually we would rely on either Jack or Balogun, which we're short on them as well. So definitely thin across the ground, but I agree. I'd like to get Itten a wee shot, Itten, however you say it, before anyone comes for me. But yeah, good. Hopefully get him some game time and build that confidence back up.
Bridgman, and then we'll go to Bob Gia.
I think that I agree with Jody to a certain extent, but like I said, boy, right. I think he's, based on what we've seen and he's been with Brescia, he's going to start tomorrow. I do hope that sometime during the game, I don't know when it would be, that Tavernier would get a wee slot. I hope he starts if Patterson's not there. I hope Tavernier starts, but he'll need a lot of support, and you might need to get. I think somebody said Arfield. You might have to put Arfield right in front of him, just to give him a bit of cover until he gets settled in. Other than that, I think the boys have said, we spoke a couple of times. Rangers have got good young players there, and we were talking about Roof and Itten getting a game. So any of these that are permutation of 1 for 16, if you follow what I mean, and they could all make it. I don't want to try and second guess our manager anymore. The guy beats me every time. It's like a bookie taking the money off you, Unbelievable.
The bookie would need to send the heavies round to get money off of you, boy.
That's been done.
Oh dear. Aye, yeah, I mean, the focus seems to be going on Cedric Itten here. And apparently what I've heard, and probably what you've all heard, that the boy's a good pro, he's a good listener, he never complains when he's no playing, never complains when he gets subbed, anything like that. So there could be another year with the boy, and it's like any other football teams are full of players like this. They can have an immediate impact or they can take time. it could be that Cedric Kitten's taking time. He might explode on the scene next year and score a barrel load of goals. You just don't know. But
he's still a young boy. He is still young.
Absolutely, Jodie. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm prepared to give the boy the benefit of the doubt. I'm not the manager, obviously, but I'm prepared to give the boy the benefit of the doubt and give him another year, because I think for what we've seen, I mean, didn't forget the goal in Poland. It was superb. He has got it in his locker, and he can do it. And I hope for the boy's sake, seeing him being such a nice chap and a good pro, as we're led to believe, I hope it works out for Cedric Kitten. Tomorrow night, I think, you'll see Tav starting. Then just in front of them, like you say, and Wright will definitely start, because I do believe that Steven Gerrard's got a lot of faith in Wright. And you know, I think he should have played on Sunday, actually. I think he would have played on Sunday because I did them more damage. But that's history. But I think that's my
to
take
touch
on
upon what you, sorry if I can just jump in about
the
Eaton's not had any qualms or anything about not getting played, etc. I feel like on the team as a whole, I think the attitude this season from each player, I know that we've had some issues before and we've dealt with that, and we've whittled it down, but I think this team really realises that no player is above the club now, and Gerrard and the backroom staff will not settle for that, and I think that's why we do have such a good relationship, and how, whereas before you might have seen in seasons that there was a certain 11 we had to play with because they had the chemistry, they were able to play with each other, making a sub or a change, or if there was injuries, it wasn't too much of a loss. Well, beforehand it might have been because they hadn't necessarily played with each other. There could have been attitude reasons, whereas now you have these games where you've got a league game, you've got the chance to go unbeaten, but then you've got a cup game that's a bit more important, and you don't need to worry about who we're slotting in. I mean, we're flinging all these top class names about, and you don't even need to worry about how they'll play alongside their other teammates, because the attitude is absolutely brilliant this season, and you can just see that the team, they've got a collective goal in mind.
Okay. I've come across you, Bob Jan. We've been joined by the rich one of the brothers with the good looking one on earlier on. We've been joined by Andy. How are we doing, Andy?
Good evening. It's good evening, Jodie. How are you doing, everybody?
Hi,
Andy. Yeah, Bob Jet stole my thunder. I like Hatton. The wee cameos we've seen at him, I think he can score with the head, score with the feet. He'll tell you what he does do and all. He hods the ball up in places that you need to hod it up when you could be up against it. I think he's possibly been told when he comes in there, look, you're long term, and if you just stick with what we got, sit into the system, come in, and then maybe next season he might get a more shots at the games, right enough. I seen today as well, I don't know how true it is, that Morales is wanting to stay for another year and having a crack at the Champions League. So if that's true, I'm liking that as well, which I said to Shugs and Alec there, I think that was going to happen. I think when they were signing the contracts, I think Morales was looking there, and I think he's saying to himself, I'm going to have a kick here. We're all getting these guys signed on and getting the team going forward to grow even better with a couple of extra guys that we're hopefully going to put in the team. So I think we're in a good place as far as that goes. But I do like it, and I know I've not seen a lot of him, and it's hard to say, but I like the little things he does in the team right enough. So I hope he gets a chance. That's all I'll say on that one. And the Patterson and Tavernier playing in the same team, well, that could happen. Again, we've spoke about it, me and Shugs and Alec. We actually brought that up there over the weekend. What I can remember of the weekend, to be honest with you, Monday was a bad day for me.
I heard that some of your checks bounced on the Tuesday because the signature was so bad.
Oh, I tell you, I must have only had about 4 or 5 hours. I can't keep doing them all night, all firms, and they're not good. I managed to see the game all right enough, but they're wild. I'm going to have to sort that out right enough. I'm getting too old for that game.
All right, we'll let Jamie come back in. Jamie, what do you think? What's your thoughts, mate?
I hope that is the team, but I can't see it. I thought Kent was electric against Celtic as well. So I would actually be keen for him to start again. The thing is, I think St Johnstone might look to rest players as well for this game if we're playing them at the weekend. They'll probably, I think, if I was their manager, I'd be looking to just play a team that doesn't resemble what they're going to put out at the weekend as well, just to try and confuse us a bit. So I think it'll be a strange game, I think, midweek. But the other point I was looking to make is the Old Firm game. This has been a theme throughout against Celtic. I feel as though we could have killed them off more. And in our second half, I think this is it's been a regular thing that Gerrard's kind of introduced to our team, that once we get that cushion, we don't really seem to be hungry to go and get more. And I think I've seen it, was it against Benfica, when we went ahead against them earlier on. There was opportunities to kill them off as well. And then I felt as though we were sort of running the risk against Celtic in the second half as well. I feel as though once this Rangers team get ahead by 2, they're more inclined just to hold the ball in areas where the opposition can't hurt us. So I don't know if that's going to hurt us going forward. I just don't know why he's doing that, but I wanted your thoughts on that as well.
I tell you what, I thought I was greedy. You're wanting perfection. Bob Gia.
Well, I can see where you're coming from, Andy. I agree with you. I mean, I thought we could have put more by them on Sunday. I see, we seem to drop down not a level, but drop down a gear, if we'll call it, in the second half. We could have really pummeled them on Sunday. I've noticed that, against Benfica, and who else? It happened twice against Benfica. For we're ahead, we could have defeated them twice in the group. Yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from, mate. If you've got your foot on the throat, go for it and do them. Because these people you're playing against, especially at Celtic, they would date to you. They've done it in the past. So I didn't see why we shouldn't just get the sleeves rolled up and date it back to them, because we're capable of doing it, more than capable of doing it. We proved that on Sunday. We should have been about 3-4 ahead at half time on the Sunday, but I thought we were going to really do a demolition job on them, but we didn't. And this holding the ball up and playing pretty tippy-tappy football around about them. Okay, but we can't complain too much. We're champions. It's got us results, and we're doing okay,
Jodie?
I think you need to remember we were playing the best team in the league. No, I'm kidding on. No. I agree. But I think, again, it's just something that we can show that Rangers don't even need to step out second gear to get a performance against them. I mean, we've done it all. We've won against them when they haven't registered a shot on target. We won against them when we didn't register a shot on target. Buffalo broke his curse, and then 2-0 again with a wee Stephen Davis overhead kick. It just shows there is more, and I do feel myself in the same boat now, where you're watching games and these are games that we would have been crying out for years ago, but now we're just at that stage where we're like, we want perfection, we want a bit more, get more goals, just humiliate them, to be honest. But it's a hard one, but Rangers, we're just a class above the rest just now, and I can see it continuing. I think this is going to be 1 trophy, 2 trophy, 3 trophy, 4. Just keep going on, just keep going as it goes, and we'll focus on that.
See, here's a question for you, Jodie, and I'll take this from the panel. Are we in their heads now? Do they fear us? Are their support like we were? I mean, let's be honest. Warburton era, Murty era, Kachina era. We were watching behind the sofa, weren't we? It was tough. Are we in their heads now? Is it total 180?
I'll tell you right now, if I was any other team in that league, I'd fear playing Rangers. Personally, I know maybe there's a bit of bias in there, but if I was a Celtic player, I would have an ounce of fear. I mean, you've got people like Brown in that are like supposed to be the hard man of the Scottish League and apparently strolling games, but we weren't there for most of his dominance. I'm saying with inverted quotation marks. And that's the thing. They've been bigged up, and I think what makes it much more enjoyable is how much they revelled in the 10 and how much they thought it was done. And I believe Hartson himself said he thought it was going to be 10, 11, 12, 13. They had absolutely no respect, and they didn't see it coming, and they bought in to all their own propaganda, and it just makes it that little bit sweeter. And yeah, if I was a player in an opposition team, why would you not fear Rangers? The threat we've got, the defence we've got, the just everything from even the fact that who our manager is. And am I right in saying that Gerrard's now the longest standing manager in the SPFL? Now,
Breaking news. More breaking news for the Super League. It was actually 13 teams who tried to join it. Dundee's email has just arrived.
Very good indeed. Good stuff. Well done, Oxford.
Can we have a shout out to Kim on YouTube, who's took up helping us out, Rangers Radio on YouTube. Thanks very much, Kim. And you're young, just like myself. All right.
Oh, beat it, you.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Kim. I really appreciate it. Aye, that was a good one about the Dundee Bridge, wasn't it?
That was cracking. Just brilliant.
Some of them are crackers. I'm wasted, really. I should get more money.
I reckon you should, and I would go and see. I would actually chat in Fox's door tomorrow and if he answers, you'll be lucky.
Oh, I've done it before. You can have as much as you like.
I don't think so.
Aye,
that was a wind up percentage. As much as you like.
2 million% or nothing. 2 million nothing.
Go on yourself, pal. Go for it. It's all yours. If he tells you to just come and see Bridgeman, I can tell you right now, in front of the whole lot, you're getting nothing.
I'm glad to do it. It's not for profit, Rangers Radio. That's the way
not for profit, absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
That's the way we like it, Bob Gerra.
Oh, wouldn't it be the same? Life wouldn't be the same without Rangers Radio. Not the same for me. Jody, I agree with what you're saying there, pal. But I would think, and looking from a Celtic perspective, I think they are in a state of disbelief that this has happened to them, because they were going around strutting, as you said, under Caxina, under Warburton and Graham Murray. They did, like you said, from behind the City. They never ever thought that days like this would ever come again. They thought everything was going to be a formality every year forevermore, or a long, long time anyway. And now that the swing has come big time, they are in a state of shock and disbelief. Complacency was their biggest enemy.
The whole thing about football is you're never guaranteed anything. You need to put the work in, and it just proved when they were losing the game with everything with Lennon and stuff, the way the fans were reacting, spitting the dummy out of the board, they would never have been able to handle what we went through, and it just shows that. Sorry, on you go.
They would never have been able to handle that. That's exactly right. They can hardly handle the crisis they're going through now. They'll carry on with bricks at the team bus and Harris Spence, and we know all about that. But I think it's a state of shock and disbelief with the club itself and their supporters. They never ever dreamed in their wildest dreams that would ever turn round and swing this far. And it's now up to them to play catch up, and it's up to us to keep the foot on the neck and keep on going and get bigger and stronger. And as Bridge always says every night, do it for the Rangers every time. That's what always in your mind.
Keep it going for the Rangers, he says.
Keep it going for the Rangers. And I'll read
can I come in there, Oxia?
Yep, on you go, mate.
I was just going to say that, it's not even 3 years since our manager came on the scene. Not even 3 years. In the first season of our manager's reign, we got beat at Parkhead by the wonderful Brendan Rodgers team that everybody loves, and so on and so forth. And it comes to Ibrox, and he gets hammered at Ibrox. And so, the pupil turned on the master and leathered them. And he couldn't take it, and he left. I've said to you as a teacher before. So that's how long he lasted. Couldn't do without him. Aye, right, cheerio, gone. So they bring in the the hero worshipper, Mr. Lennon. He walks in, takes it over, and he can't cope with it either. So there you go. Get rid of our manager's not even 3 years in the job, and he's got rid of Brendan Rodgers and Neil Lennon, and now Mr. Kennedy's going to go.
And it's not exactly Gerrard had an easy job. Gerrard had a full rebranding to do, had to bring everything
Absolutely.
back up.
The guy's a star. He's a star.
Yep.
You're talking about stars.
Oh, no.
Are you going to talk? Yeah.
How are we doing, Jaffa?
Oh,
All right,
Jaffa.
how you doing? Good
How
evening.
are you, Jaffa?
How you doing, Bridge?
Oh, brilliant, pal. Brilliant. Nice to hear you
Brilliant.
too. Nice. Are you happy after Sunday?
How you doing, Joe? Oh, Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
Nice one, pal.
Everybody
Nice
think
one.
they can sing on here.
Only when Jodie's on, Ox. Only when Jodie's on.
Love it.
We need to do a music. You're going to write a musical for us, Jodie. We'll do a musical, huh?
I'm going to. Oh my God, we should do an evening with Rangers Radio, and we can all have a talent show.
Oh, we've done that before. I was last. On you go, Jaffa. The floor's yours.
Oh, it was good chat. I was enjoying the team talk. I've got a slightly different take on it. I would like to see us play with full strength team, and my reason for it is I think if we went out tomorrow night and we got defeated, we lost or we drew, I think you have to be careful with that because it can knock the wheels off the momentum a wee bit, and I wouldn't like that to happen. So I would just like to play whoever the full 11 who's available, a game at a time. Try and forget Sunday. I know you can, but try and put it to one side at the moment.
So what you're saying, Jaffa, what you're saying is you play your first 11, and you maybe say obviously you play your first 11 on Tuesday, and then you'll say Sunday. Sorry, we will give you these 2 days, these 2 games in 4 days, and then we'll give you Monday and Tuesday off. Give them a
pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
Also, I think as well, if we put our full team out tomorrow night and we put our number 11, I'm not saying he won't tweak it a wee bit because as Bridge and Bob Jer and the other guys have alluded to, we can't guess what Stevie G is going to do. He'll always, I mean, he done it again on Sunday. You know, he played the team with Aribo up front, and I don't think Celtic expected that to happen. And Patterson was outstanding.
He was listening to Rangers Radio. That was the team that everybody predicted.
I know. We all picked it, didn't we? We all pretty much picked the same team. So I think he might throw Scott Wright in. He might put Ruth in. That's the beauty of our front line. We've got so many options. The middle of the park, as you rightly said, Ox, is a wee bit light. But by the same token, Stephen Davis, Glenn Kamara, and Scotty Arfield, I thought played great on Sunday. So I would play them again. And what I was going to say was, if you give them a Sloan tomorrow night, you could in fact, you know, almost beat them before you need to turn up on Sunday, because that's football. That's what happens.
Yeah, there's logic in that. I get that.
I kind of touched on there. I said I don't think it's going to be your simple, straightforward. Let's just put out a younger team that's not get as much experience, because there's a lot of mind games attached when you're playing the same team so close together. So I'm on the same boat.
Here. Bridge?
I think a lot of guys would be, shall we say, sympathetic towards what was said there about playing the strongest team. I'm one of these guys because I'm taking the next game as the most important game and so on and so forth. I'm using that philosophy that you should be given your all for the team. But as I said, I've given up trying to second guess our manager. I think the manager will play something like the teams that the guys have said tonight. If he can get Patterson to get playing tomorrow night, Patterson will play, in my opinion. Obviously, we won't know what the score is going to be with this hearing. But I mean, when there's a 7 o'clock kickoff, so Rangers need to leave their training ground somewhere at lunchtime or something like that to get through there and get settled. There's no time. There's absolutely no time. That's disgraceful doing that to them on the day of the game. Anyway, I digress. I think that the team will be something like some of the boys said earlier, a mixture of the steady and some new stuff. You guys, in some cases, they have to come in. You guys have to come in.
All right, Rich. Andy.
Yeah, I think he'll bring 2 or 3 different ones in just for the fact of giving them some game time, right enough. I mean, league games and cup games are totally different anyway. We know, we know what we've got to do tomorrow night, and we also know what we've got to do there on Sunday. There ain't no point knocking them out if we don't go out with the right attitude and sort them out on Sunday. But it's a league game first. Get that sorted, and then he'll have the right team in his mind, or barring injuries or anything like that. And he'll have the team, I'm pretty sure, up for it. I'm sure all the players will be up for it as well. We know what's in front of us now, and, you can feel it now, can't you? You know what I mean? But keep just going at one game at a time for me at the moment. I'll worry about Sunday on Sunday. I think we'll be okay. But, yeah, again, we want to keep... If we can get these league games sorted and go through, that's a real invincible season, isn't it, with them in it, not with... no Rangers in it. I mean, like what you were saying there earlier on about being under Heed. We're definitely under Heed now. I mean, like you've got that Lego Muncher. That's the biggest con in Scottish football. The medals he's got. He's had nobody to challenge him. He's just bullied teams that were poor in that league. The real man that's got medals is Ian Ferguson that played for Rangers. That's the difference between the two players, But we'll be okay. I mean, I want to see he's doing the right thing with Wright. But surprised he didn't get in the last couple of games there. But I mean, usually when he sits on a press conference with the manager, he usually get a shot. So I'm expecting Wright to play tomorrow night. So yeah, in midfield, I wouldn't touch that Zunga right enough. I know we've not seen a lot of him, but he won't be in it anyway, will he? So there's no need to worry about that. But the thought of him playing for Rangers, that gives me the fear right enough. But yeah, look, get the right team out tomorrow, get the right result. We see there again, you're talking about, well, they might change players, but have they got enough players to drop players out like that? So roughly, I think what we see there on tomorrow night with St Johnstone, I think it'll be roughly the same team when they come out in the cup game, give or take 1 or 2. But I don't think they can turn the squad around like we could, So interested to see it more of that.
I suppose if they've not got a big squad, mate, and they've got a couple of players carrying knocks, they've got a problem, haven't they?
That's my thinking there, right enough. I don't think they're that big a squad. They're a tidy wee team, though. I never mind watching them. They play some decent football.
He's done a reasonable job there, top 6, and won a bit of silver in his first season. You've got to take your hats after him.
Oh, definitely, especially when they rode past the Pedo Dome, giving it big. That was even better. What a celebration that was.
I also heard that was the St Johnstone contacted that new CEO that's there and asked him what price they wanted for the trophy cabinet.
I tell you, I do like the boy. Is it Danny McNamara that plays for them? He's a decent player.
Is he on loan for Millwall? Was it Millwall?
That's right. Yeah, the English lad, aye. Yeah.
How do I know that? That's sad. I need to get out
there. A couple of times. I mean, I've not seen a lot of him, but the few occasions I have, some guys catch your eyes. You're like, that was a good turn. That he's got a bit of pace about him. If you say the sorry, Oaks.
No problem. That's the thing about Scott Wright, mate. I don't know. He never caught any eye. On the whole, everybody, the management team must have noticed something.
And Glenn Middleton, obviously, he won't be able to. I mean, I don't know, but does that the loan count with the cup game as well? Because he's actually been turning in a few good performances for them.
I don't think he can play. I think we've been joined by Andy from New Zealand. Evening, Andrew.
Hello, mate.
Good to hear from you, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm so happy, mate. So happy for that result. Just unbelievable.
Is that you just back for the pub, mate? You just recovered for it?
No, I'm just back from work. I work in...
I absolutely love your accent, by the way.
Thanks very much.
Oh, by the way. Yeah. No, I'm just back from work. I'm a support worker.
All right, brilliant, mate, brilliant.
Yeah.
Come on here
And
and
I
help
work-
me. I do a bit of support working on here with some of them.
I think you do a pretty good job, mate.
So you enjoyed Sunday, did you? Where did you watch it in the end?
Well, I had to work and that, and I just watched bits on the YouTube and that, and it was really good. And I just heard a little bit. I can't. Is it one of your mates here was saying what a signing Steven Gerrard is? Absolutely. You know, he's just turned the club around. You know, he's just fantastic.
Yeah. Jodie, we all love Stevie G, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Get for him sorted.
Jodie. I was going to sing a song, but the guy that picked up the phone there says, and I told him what song I was going to sing, but I got censored.
Yes, you already heard that message, Andrew. We'll not be singing that song.
Sing another one, but Andrew, get on there.
Oh, no, I don't want to get banned. Mate.
You'll not get barred, don't worry. Special permission.
We've been trying to bar Bridge for years for his singing, but he's still here.
Oh no, I'm a bit stage fright now.
But believe it or not, Andy, we've also been joined by William from Bellamedina over in Spain. How are we doing, William?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually from Ballymena, a wee village. You've maybe heard of it, Cullybacky, same village as Sir Stephen of Davis.
Oh, brilliant, mate. I get wrong information. They spelt it wrong, the people that sent it to me. I thought you were in Spain. Sorry, man.
My head's probably in Spain at times, but no, I'm an Ulster man.
Oh, brilliant.
I am loving all
Did you say you're from Ballymena, pal?
Ballymena.
3 miles outside Ballymena, a wee village called Cullybacky. Well, all villages are wee.
Cullybacky. I bet that horse a couple of times.
Pardon, sorry, I didn't hear there.
I'm saying I bet that horse a couple of times and I lost.
By the way, it does say Ballymena. I can't read through all of a sudden. I thought it said Ballamedina.
Ballymena, Benalmadden,
Oh dear. It's like United Nations on here tonight. Jodie, we'll go to Bill in a minute and then we'll go back to Andy.
I like doing accents as well, but I can't even attempt any because I'll just make an idiot of myself. But yeah, I'm loving all the accents, guys. I don't even want to speak.
Why don't you do the posh one like me, Jodie, and me, Jaffer, and Bridgeman then?
Yeah, listen. I'm a wee scheme goblin, and it's going to stay that way.
Right, William, the floor's yours. Then we'll go back to Andy. What's on your mind, William? And thanks for the call, mate. Great to hear from you.
Thanks very much to have me on. I was actually a first-time listener last night, and Alex Kelly had suggested a come on tonight, so to be honest, I don't really have a point to make. I was hoping somebody could sort of take me by the hand and ask me something and set me on a tangent.
Do you have a team? Do you have an idea who you want your team to be?
Well, you see, I'm in two minds because at this stage of the year, given how successful we've been, it's the perfect time to experiment a wee bit. Not a lot, but like try out like fringe players and new players and stuff. But then I'm contradicting myself because I find myself wanting to go back to McGregor, Barisic, Hollander, Goldson, Patterson, and then Davis, Kamara. Although Kamara frustrates me at times, but after the first half an hour on Sunday, he's won me over. I didn't really see what the big fuss was about, but I think you need to have him in there along with Davis at the minute. And I'm a big fan of Arfield. I think he links the midfield and the forwards together, runs effortlessly, and just he forces the midfield to go with him. But his form recently hasn't been great, and he had a couple of fantastic challenges on Sunday, some really good tackles, but other than that, he just hasn't looked himself since he come back. So I don't know where I would put him or keep Arabo, because he was troubling wee laxative all day on Sunday.
Laxative.
And I don't know, maybe I'd maybe go for Itten for a change, and Kent has to start for me every game. I know wide players and that their consistency can be a problem, but I just think he's fantastic, and he might be quiet or it might not be working for him, and all of a sudden he just opens up and produces the goods. So I wouldn't really make too many changes. Maybe put Itten on, because he has been poor on a couple of occasions, but in my opinion, the times he hasn't really performed, it's because he's been getting no service. He tries hard, and at this stage of the year, I would maybe give him a go.
Right, on round the approach with William, first time caller. What about that?
Well done, William, pal. Well done. From Ballymena. Well done, buddy. Well done.
I was nearly putting 9 players or 14 on there. I had to sit and count my fingers to see how many players I had on.
We've had people try that before.
Well, don't worry about it. Our audience can't count. Right, that's a different team. I'll go back to Andy from New Zealand, then I'll come back to you, William. Andy, you got a team for tomorrow night. What would you do? You're the manager.
I can't really. Just keep putting out the winning team. Don't make any changes, and just keep winning. That's all I reckon. Put out the strongest team, maybe, you know.
Yeah, that's a point of view, Jaffa. It's a point of view, isn't it?
Yeah, that was my call on it, Ox. I wouldn't rock it too much. I would I liked the Williams' point about Arfield. I see exactly the same stuff with Arfield. He's linked up playing the 1-2s, the interplay at the edge of the box that's Arfield. That's Arfield's. That's got his trademark all over it, and we usually get goals from it. So I would keep the strongest team out. All right, Andy.
Yeah, totally agree.
Oh, sorry, and, Andy for Leeds. Sorry, 2 Andys on the call.
I'm just swapping McLaughlin for the Shagger and Wright for Kent, and go with that, and then see how the game plans out, and then bring on who he wants to. Don't want too many changes. I definitely agree with that. Stick, keep the momentum going. That's what I like to see. You can punish it 2 ways, can't you?
Reminding everybody it's a 7 o'clock kick-off tomorrow. 7 o'clock. Yeah. Where am I? Jamie, what did you think of Williams' team there, mate?
I know it's good going for a strong team, but just because Gerrard said earlier on that chance to rest players and see the squad, I know we're going for this undefeated run in the league, but I really want to see some of the players that haven't really had the chance. But either way, I still see a positive result for the Rangers tomorrow, because I know that there's players on the bench that are more than capable of stepping on.
Aye, here, Jamie, here. He does a lot right. William, it's been a fantastic season for us, isn't it?
Oh, it's been brilliant. Excuse me. No, it's been absolutely brilliant. Like, it's just made me think a lot about, 2011 and all that there. And I remember I was in Dumfries for a couple of weeks, and when we got the news about administration, I remember crying my eyes out like a wean. And this season it's tears for a completely different reason. And I just think the etiquette and decorum we've shown, not only as fans but as a club. We've seen what the Muller lot have done, throwing sharks at empty buses and getting on, and we supported our team, full stadium in the bottom division, and I just think we've been class, and our decorum's been brilliant. And for older fans, I'm only in my early 30s, so for older fans that have been through it all, I just think it's brilliant to see the likes of my dad, who's followed Rangers everywhere his whole life, just to get something back after a decade of misery. And it just shows the hard work that the management team and the backroom staff have put in. And run may it continue. And
yeah, it's great to have a younger fan like myself on, but I'll take that point to Bridgeman because he's one of the older fans. Bridge.
What a shocker you are, boy. Oh, what can I say? You caught me out there, by the way. I'm not very long, but I missed the point, by the way, I must admit. I was that shocked, I've missed the point. Can you tell me what the point is again?
I don't know, I just made it up as I went along.
I know, pal.
He was saying that it's a fantastic season and it's been great for the older fans. So I passed on to you.
Oh, yes. Of course it has. Me being probably the oldest anyway on this tonight, I think I am anyway, you know. But
I think Andy Leeds gives you a good run for your money.
There you go. I don't know what
Listen, young Oxel, you must have had a time machine because you were at all the games that I were at back in the day. There you go.
You get all the Oxtail there. I love it. I love it.
No, no, me, Andy. I wasn't there.
I'll tell you what, the audience will be in stitches at that, I'll tell you. Very good. Very good.
Talking about looking good, boys, did anybody see Derek Parlane on the Blues Brothers podcast? I thought he was looking about 27.
Ridiculous, mate. Ridiculous. I met Derek just before the lockdown with his boy in a certain bar in the West End of Glasgow, mate, and he's hardly changed a bit. And he had a drink with him and his boy, and firstly, what a gentleman, and secondly, he's got it all going on, and he's 60. Unbelievable. Andy can sing, Bridge.
Sorry, Oxtail?
Andy can sing.
Oh, get in there, Andy. I'll join in with you.
No, Derek Parlane. Right, well, we've reached that time of the evening. I'm going to get around the panel, get some interesting characters. Thanks, Jaffa, for warming up for tomorrow night. You'll be on tomorrow night. Looking forward to it, mate, after the match.
Can't wait. I just thought we'd throw the team in tonight, a wee bit of team talk. Yep, look forward to Ox. Thanks for having me, mate.
All right, mate. Catch you after the match, about 15 minutes after the final whistle. Need extra time
You
at
bet.
Berkeley's to worry about tomorrow night, mate.
I'll be there.
All right. Thanks to Andy from New Zealand. I think you made Jodie's night with your accent.
Yeah, that's okay. I didn't know that he's going to make some changes. I'd like to see the big man Itson have a game. I always like to see a big centre forward have a go. And you can't drop Shagger, mate. You can't drop a guy with a name called Shagger. Come on.
No, keep it clean. Jodie's here. Right, Andy Phillips.
Yeah, great show again, boys. It's always a pleasure coming on. All stay safe, and we'll catch you all tomorrow.
And thanks for the call, Jamie. Jamie, good to hear from you, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Not a problem, mate. Any time, mate. And William, first time caller, thanks a lot for overbye, mate, for joining us. Great to hear from you.
Thanks very much for having me on. Apologies for the first time nerves and the rambling, but no, it was good to be on. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. It's great to hear from you, mate. Some great points you made. Jodie, how are we doing? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was another good show. Thanks to all the callers, and then well done to William for coming on and having his first go at it. Because I'll tell you one thing, my first time on this show, Jesus Christ, I just sat and spoke about absolute rubbish for ages.
We bridged it every night, didn't we, Bridge?
Literally, but I was talking about the steak I was making. We're going to have like a Jodie's cooking corner and stuff, but God knows. But yeah, thanks so much for all the calls. Loving all the accents out there, by the way. See, even if you've got a Glaswegian accent, phone up and put an accent on and I won't be none the wiser. Do what you want. But yeah, good to speak to us all, and I'm glad that everyone's still on a high and on a positive, and all the best for the morrow, guys.
Well, Bridgeman, we've reached that time of the evening. It's over to you, mate.
It's a big pity as well, let me tell you. What a marvellous night. Another wonderful night. Great occasion, in my opinion. Well said for Jodie. And of course, the techie boys in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, it's a mystery what the team's going to be tomorrow night. Nobody can make up their mind properly. So the manager better come up with a good one, because we're going to need it. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers for tomorrow night. In there. Keep it going.
I thank all the callers who took the time to join us here on Rangers Radio. Thanks particularly to Andy from New Zealand, as always, and also William with Ballymena for joining us for the first time. Great to hear from them. Thanks to Bridge and Jody.
Thanks a lot. Good night and good luck to Rangers tomorrow.
Cheers, Andy. Cheers, mate. Thanks to Jody and Bridgeman for joining us on the panel. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle, where the show will be joined by the one and only Jaffa, who pops in tonight. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. Come to me wild and wide. Oh, you come to me. Give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak a language of love like you know what it means. Can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it stronger. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever made. Stuck on your heart. Oh, I hang on every word you say. Tear us apart. Baby, I would rather be dead. In your heart, I see the start of every night and every day. In your arms, I get lost and I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I could be in no better place. You're simply the best.